Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our second episode of Vampire the Dark Ages. Before we go around, I'd like to make a few announcements. I would like to announce that on our Bunch of Gamers Discord page, on September the 25th, we're going to have an open GM Talks. Anyone who wants to join will be able to join, talk about games, get recorded, and get posted up on the channel. The link to the Discord will be in the description of this episode. In addition, I would like to announce that Liam will be departing from the vampire game due to scheduling conflicts with his work. And so now I'm going to go around the room and have my players introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Michael, playing a Tamichi named Augustin Antal.
I'm Mike, playing the Assamite Yehuda ben Saruq.
I am Thomas. I'm playing the gangrel ham Varsson.
And Christine will be out today, also due to a work conflict. Last time, you had found a piece of vampiric lore. This piece of lore seems to be related to the infamous Book of Nod. The three of you had decided to go to Pistoia to find the monk who was originally going to translate this information, while Isabella went through the city of Florence and tried to investigate the estate of Andrusio, the man who was there to collect the scroll from the traders from Pisa. It is the next night, after your harrowing adventure dealing with the man of the crossroads. And so you prepare yourselves, ready to move on into the next city. Also remember to spend a point of blood for awakening. How would you guys like to proceed before you venture forth?
So the scroll should be as safe as we can make it.
Yes.
I will keep the manuscript copy on my person, and I would certainly like to feed before we set out.
Okay.
I'm not certain we have much time for that.
We have a herd.
It still takes time. They're not caged. How far away is
Pistoia?
Pistoia?
It is, if you're going by foot, it will take the whole night. Or close to the whole night. If you go by mount, it'll take about half the night.
That's my point. We don't have much time to do much else.
Well, I was assuming we were going to be spending the night there anyways. Or spending the day, rather.
Where?
Yeah, where are we going to stay?
I would assume we would figure that out when we got there, but certainly if we go out there and then start traveling back with less than half the night available, that's more dangerous than hunkering down in Pistoia.
No, hunkering down in Pistoia is definitely dangerous.
Oh, of course. But being caught on the road is worse.
Thus we should leave now.
We won't have time to do much if we spend half a day traveling, half a night traveling, and then half a night traveling back. We'll have virtually no time to figure anything out while we're...
We take the monk.
Oh! Bring him back here?
Yes.
Wouldn't that tip our hand?
Riders in the middle of the night take someone and ride off into the night.
They might think it was one of the... No, because they're both dead. They might think it was the compatriots of those who were originally going to employ them.
I see no problem with this.
I agree. I like your plan. Instead of interrogating him there, we should bring him back.
Makes sense.
So it's the three of us headed there?
Yeah.
Alright.
And we should take horses, obviously.
Yes.
You mount up and begin to ride. You ride early in the evening. And in the distance, you do hear the howls of wolves. They're still a little common in these regions, as unnerving as that is, given the animosities between yourselves and the Lupins. Moving through Florence, you pass through Prato, another smaller village. And finally, close to midnight, you reach Pistoia. I will need a intelligence, hearth, wisdom. You are able to find the church, or the monastery, very quickly. The lights are off. No candle lights are there. How do you want to proceed?
Going to go and knock on the monastery's door.
Seriously?
Yes.
One?
Yes.
I don't have any better ideas.
Ahrom ra'an nistar pitayim avru ne'enashu. The shrewd man saw trouble and took cover. The simple kept going and paid the penalty. I don't know if walking up and making noise is our best course of action. Maybe we should find out if anybody else is visiting first.
Alright.
So what would you like to do then?
I scope the place out. I'd like to look around. I'd like to see where the surroundings, the town, the region, basically look to see if anybody else is skulking around after me, including recent tracks, horse tracks. Has it rained at all?
No. Okay, you're trying to do a lot in a short period of time, so I will give you two options. You can either check for horse traffic and the recentness of that in front of the church, and that would be a perception survival. Or you can you can start looking around and trying to find if anyone else is trying to scope out the area, and that will require a perception investigation.
Okay, I'll look for other people.
Okay, perception investigation, please.
Difficulty
6. You see someone approaching you, actually. The man is in well-crafted composite armor. A broadsword rests on his side, and a shield on his back. Can I get a perception awareness from you?
Uh-oh. Still difficulty 6?
Yep. Blood calls to blood, and you sense the supernatural presence of this one, and he reveals himself as he growls, "You, what are you doing here?"
I'd like to know the same.
"I am the sheriff of this city. Why have you not shown yourself to the prince?"
We just arrived, and I believe we're showing ourselves to you right now.
You seem to be looking at this building and snooping. There were signs...
Snooping?
Yes, snooping. Come with me. I will take you to the prince.
I'm sorry, as I said, we just arrived. Who is the prince in these regions?
The prince is my sire. Her name is Leona.
And Leona controls this hamlet?
Yes, she is the prince of Pistoia. Where are you from?
Well, I myself hail from Andalusia originally. I can't speak for my compatriots, of course.
I am growing impatient, nor do I suffer fools easily.
Oh, you and me both.
What city do you call your haven?
We've recently ridden in from Florence. We are seeking a translator, a monk who lives behind these hallowed walls.
Well, that's good to know, Saracen. But come, you will speak to the prince first, and she will give you leave whether or not you will be allowed to continue your little game in her domain.
Oh, I have no wishes to play games, but as I said, I do not speak for my compatriots. I am willing to come with you.
Do you come get us?
No, if it pleases the sheriff, I will attend the prince with him while you two continue on.
Ooh,
So-
that is a terrible idea.
So, would we know, for instance, what clan Leona was with?
You would not know that from this. Automatically, no.
Okay. But I would know enough not to go off by myself with
You would know that because if they got caught, then they might try and get you extradited from your city. Or cause a prince war.
Okay, so let me rephrase. I do not speak to for my fellows. We need to confer with them before we go anywhere.
Lead the way.
All right, I will return to you with the sheriff in tow. What was your name, by the way?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. Well met. I'm Yehuda ben Saruq ibn Haqim.
And yourself? As he looks over at Augustin.
I am Augustin. So you are the sheriff of here?
I am.
I did not know a prince had dominion here. I am sorry for the intrusion.
Your apology is accepted on my end. I understand that with the two warring princes in Florence, that the political situation outside of the city may not be a high concern to other kindred.
But if you shall lead the way to the prince, we will be happy to fulfill customary greetings.
Thank you. Will your outlaw be good, or must he be leashed?
He should be fine.
Lorenzo takes you to a manor on the edges of Pistoia. He enters with several of the guards as he nods them to lower their weaponry. In the main throne room, you see what appears to be a young woman with beautiful, piercing amber eyes, her hair a sort of auburn, and her skin becoming more like ivory with age that seems to have overtaken her clear Mediterranean features. Lorenzo, who are these?
My lady, we hail from Florence. We come here seeking a translator.
I see. I must say that I am disappointed. I thought that Panfilio was better at informing his subjects.
My lady, Panfilio is so bad at informing his subjects that I was not even aware I was a subject of Panfilio.
Really? Alright, she looks you in the eye and says, really? What is your willpower, Yehuda?
My willpower is 5.
Thank you.
However, assuming when I was apprentice I made a amulet using the strength of Haqim ritual, my effective resistance to mind-altering spells would be 8.
Still enough. She removes that last memory from you, and
What last memory?
mentioning Panfilio.
Oh,
And she goes, as you remember just saying that you have just entered the city, and she goes, I am surprised that noble Ansius the Golden would send his subjects without informing them.
Ansius the Golden. I forget. Is he a Catholic or is he a Habsburg?
He is he's the one who's aligned himself with the Guelphs.
And the Guelphs are the Catholics?
Kind of. So the conflict is more complicated than that.
Guelphs are the Papists.
Kind of, yeah. Some of them are 100% because the Guelphs want the papacy to have more power in the city. But many of them are
Right.
actually motivated for selfish reasons because the papacy would also mean that Florence's trade abilities are increased, which means it helps them line their pockets.
Natch.
Yes.
So, my lady, with all due respect, do I look like somebody who would support somebody who supports an increase in the papacy's power?
Oh, you never know. But now I'm intrigued. If you are not from Ansius, are you here on your own business then?
That is correct.
Very well. Let me ask this then. Why are you seeking this translator?
Out of character, at this point, can I tell what clan she hails from?
You only know that she has access to dominate.
She has access to dominate, and she's getting paler with age.
Which, paler with age, is every vampire clan except the Banu Haqim.
Ah, access to dominate. Well, I don't have a copy of the the rule book, so what would that be?
That's several.
Academic? What's background knowledge? Shit that your average 50-year-old vampire would be expected to.
No, see, here's the thing. Just looking at a vampire doesn't necessarily give you access to their clan.
Sure. But experiencing their power in the context of their location.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm a foreigner, so again, it would be expected on me.
So she could be La Sombra. She could be La Sombra. She could be Ventru.
All right. Never mind. I myself, my lady, I'm an academic. I always seek out scholars, both mortal and more than mortal.
This mortal had been specified to potentially have the ability to translate something. While we've translated it ourselves, we wish to know what the mortal perspective is on the translation, and he was the most expedient means to obtain that perspective.
I see. So now then I have a question for you. What is it that you wish to be translated?
We may have been unclear. We're not looking for a translation. We're looking for a translator.
Yes, but when one seeks a translator, it usually means that they want them to translate something, even if it is for their unique mortal perspective, as your companion specified.
Oh, you are absolutely right. And oftentimes others seek translators as well. And it's useful to know what others are seeking to, as you yourself are trying to find out from us.
Yes. Now, I'm curious, what clans are you?
I hail from Transylvania. And I will list out my lineage as per,
Yeah. From the illustrious house Zamichi, then.
Correct.
And you, though looking at you, I can assume your clan, she says to Yehuda.
Ah, well, I do, in fact, hail from the children of Haqim. However, I do not count myself of the Islamic. Prior to my embrace, I was an Israelite.
Fascinating. Proud Zamichi, proud Augustin, why do you let one of the low clans speak for you? Aren't you one to lead?
He needs to grow accustomed to interacting with Kindred in these regions, otherwise he will not survive.
You are quite magnanimous, I must say. I must say that the rumors of your clan must be woefully untrue. And you? She turns to Ham.
Me? I am a gangrel.
An outlaw. I've heard the Lupin's been calling out there. Do you wish to heed their calls, outlaw?
Not particularly. They don't much like us.
I guess those rumors weren't true as well. I can allow you access to this translator if you wish, though the night grows long. Perhaps if you gift me a boon, I will allow you to stay here at my haven, protected from the sun's light. We can discuss and speak. I am curious at how things are going with Florence.
Things are more hectic than you could imagine.
Is this an acceptable offer?
With
We can
one
accept your
caveat.
generous offer.
Excellent.
I would like to know with whom we are treating.
Leona.
From where do you hail, my lady?
Well, I thought it would be obvious from my regal disposition. I am of the clan Ventru, the first embraced.
Ah. Forgive this foreigner for being ignorant of your lineage.
You will be forgiven for now, but please, we are about to be seated to discuss knightly matters. Come, Lorenzo, take our guests to the main meeting hall. I will be there shortly. Lorenzo nods and goes, come on.
We'll go with the sheriff.
You are led into an excellent room with a long, ornately carved table. You notice that some of the banners and items do not really match things of modern nobility of Tuscany. Here are your seats. My lady will be with you shortly. You have some time to discuss amongst yourselves any sort of strategy on what you want to say to her before she arrives.
So again, would Ventru's opinion of Tremere be common knowledge?
Everyone
Yes.
hates the Tremere.
There's
Sure,
a
but are they-
Oh, go ahead.
Do they extra hate the Tremere?
No, they don't hate
Oh.
the Tremere as much as other people. In fact, they're using the Tremere in a way because the Tremere have pissed off the Zamichi real badly with the whole using a Zamichi in their experiments to create their bloodline and then stealing Zamichi to turn them into gargoyles. And so,
It's jumping Christmas.
yeah.
Yes.
And so the Zamichi are at war with them, and as the Zamichi are going to war with them, the Venture are like, notice those empty castles, boys? Tally ho! And are invading Zamichi land to take extra territory to make themselves more powerful.
Right. So, offering a boon, a translation of the text would not be strategically wise to give to.
I mean, it depends, because, like, she's not allied with the Tremere in any sort of way that you can tell.
Well, I can't tell anything.
That doesn't happen for a while. Then the Venture do.
Also, for
You got, like I said, you guys have a few moments to strategize.
all right. She wants to know what we're getting translated. Do we be honest? Herr Shimichi? Not Herr, Count. Are you a Count?
I don't think we just come out and say what we have.
Right, so what do we say?
Mainly just don't want a ton of people knocking at our haven's door. Like, that'd be a pain.
We're in somebody else's haven right now. We're guests. We should find out who she supports in the Florentine conflict.
I saw him, like, skip over that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think she's more interested in who we support.
We don't support anybody, right? I mean, I don't. Don't know about you.
Neutrality does seem like a decent practice.
Yeah.
Perhaps Our Lady could use agents in the city of Florence. We could offer a boon payable in the future.
We already have.
Yes, but I mean, we could specifically offer our services going forward as opposed to handing something over now.
I'm not concerned about handing anything over right now. I mean, besides it's a copy. Oh, this is gonna be such a shit night. Mainly a shit day. Fuck, I don't have any dirt.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that. That's the best. Okay.
What did
Like,
I say? What did I say?
This has
Before
nothing to
we
do
left.
with you.
I said it was very possible that we would be held up and have to spend the day here in Pistoia.
I'm fine with that. Talking to the prince doesn't bother me. It's just gonna be a shitty day.
Because clan weakness.
I understand, but if you had listened to me, you might have been able to prepare better. That's all I'm saying.
He would need 2 handfuls of dirt, which I assume he just has in his coffin, and that's it.
No, I have more than just that.
Okay.
Like, I knew I was going to be here.
That's fair.
It's just, I also know just traveling around with, dirt is, not the most common thing.
It's a little weird.
At least it's not like I have to have graveyard dirt or something.
Yeah. So, you guys are discussing, and the door opens and she arrives. She is in an elegant dress made of silk, old silk, that seems to be in excellent condition. She sits down at the table. My guests. So I'm curious, what do you want a mortal's perspective on?
If I may.
You may.
I'm sure you are aware of the conflict in Florence.
Yes.
Well, that conflict appeared to spill over into the mortal realm last night. Now, I'm not sure what precisely happened, but it appeared that several humans were killed by another human apparently possessed by a demon.
You have my interest. Her face becomes incredibly grave.
Infernalist magics were practiced last night in Florence. One of the murdered parties was going to be interfacing with a monk in yonder abbey, who is apparently well known for his facility with translation.
And you said you already translated this, yes?
Did I?
You did.
We're trying to find out who the monk was ultimately working. These humans seem to be playing way, way above their heads.
I would assume so. If a demon appeared.
Well, a human appeared that was influenced by demonic energies.
I would still say that would not... I don't believe that would invalidate my observation. A demon showed up, whether it was in a human or made truly manifest, I think is hardly anything beyond semantics. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I agree. I simply try to avoid speculation if possible.
I think then that I will agree to you staying here. But the condition is that whatever you find from this translator, you must bring to me.
Augustin? Ham?
What we find here, or it would be a burden to cover everything we may learn at any point from this. Anything we recover here from you graciously allowing us to stay, we would be willing to share. But on our return to Florence, we try to limit how much we leave the city.
Oh, I understand. The moon beasts are out in force these nights, and I think I can agree to that to some degree, but surely then you could send a courier. A simple mortal would do. Dominate them, or simply pay them to deliver the letter to my estate?
So all you seek truly is the information we gain.
Yes.
Letters can be intercepted.
That
Unfortunately.
is a risk that the prince can choose to take, if the prince is willing to accept that kind of risk.
But
Letters can be. You will be silent while your betters speak.
My apologies.
Letters can be intercepted, yes. However, who is going to intercept the letter if you're crafty, as I know you are? Why not simply get a ghoul to deliver the letter to a different mortal, pay that mortal to give it to another, and finally have that mortal paid to go off and deliver it here, create breaks so it is harder to follow and harder to track.
Information that is directly provided by this monk, we shall pass on as effectively as we can.
That is acceptable. I look forward to hearing what this monk has to say.
So do I.
But let us begin some pleasantries. Then I think... Hem, was it?
Yes.
You seem quite well dressed for your clan.
As in?
As in you're not covered in dirt all the time. She smiles sweetly.
Oh, it's just today.
Oh, I see. I did not know that you would carry yourself so well to be in my presence. That is good to hear. And you, Azamite, what sort of things bring you here? It is rare to see Saracens in these parts, or who claim dominion in these parts, unless they are performing tasks in the name of their clan.
Well, I certainly don't claim dominion. I find myself, unfortunately, exiled from Andalusia, as my people so often have been, due to the recent conflicts between mortals. Mortals of the Catholic persuasion and mortals of a more extreme Berber persuasion. Needless to say, it is hard enough being kindred in a stable human society. When said societies become unstable, difficulties increase exponentially. So, I decided to travel to Italy, where many famed scholars reside, to continue my studies.
Ah, fascinating. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. This town has been around for quite some time. Not as long as Florence. I remember when they built Florence.
Really?
Oh, yes. I was around when the Incognu were the sect of the day. The great undying Senate.
Was that... forgive me, my Italian is still not up to snuff. Were the Incognu pre-Christian?
The Incognu are pre-Christian.
And I assume they ruled these regions by night?
They did, and from my understanding, some of them, though underground, some of them still rule portions of Rome.
How far did their empire extend back in those days?
As far as the Roman Empire did.
So, is it possible some of the Incognu extended their reach all the way to Jerusalem?
Oh, I'm sure of it. Those mighty Methuselahs had very far reaches.
Well, there are some mighty Methuselahs, if not recorded in the Torah, certainly recorded in Maccabees and Chronicles and other evidences of ancient vampiric rule.
Oh, yes.
My lady, if I may ask one more small favor.
Yes.
The histories of which you speak, I certainly wouldn't want to take up your time in interview, but if there are any writings, anything I might be able to study concerning these venerated lineages, I would be
I believe
eternally
I
in
have
your
something.
debt.
What will you give me? Another boon?
I will give you the services of a scholar in the heart of Florence on any future date you would wish to call upon.
Then it is a deal. I look forward to hearing about your studies and the joy it brings you.
There is no greater pleasure than preserving the records of our past.
Are you a nodist, then?
I'm not anything. Like I said, I preserve. Ideology is the death of knowledge, for in the end, ideologies tend to destroy more knowledge, protect.
Oh, very well. I was simply asking if you were one who tried to study the ancient book and the chronicles of Cain.
Well, of course. No scholar would ignore such.
I suppose you're right. Well then, I will let you have some reading. You two are well within your rights to explore some of the manor, but please leave the West Wing to myself, as those are my private quarters.
All right.
Much obliged. Of course, we need to start with our mortal monk, who should be preparing for, what is it? Vespers is evening. What do Catholics call the 3 a.m. prayer?
Oh, I don't know. Not important in terms of the game, but yes. Okay, so if you wish to go see him tonight, by all means, go.
What do we think?
If we're going to be here, we might as well do it tomorrow night.
All right.
Okay.
That was, unless you want to, like.
Do you still plan on the previous plan?
We can't just kidnap someone. Like, the prince would be upset that we just, like.
We could ask. Matan. Was it Matan's?
Let's start with interrogating him tonight.
So you are going to him tonight, then?
Yeah.
Okay. You arrive at the monastery after a short walk, maybe half an hour. It's close to 1 a.m.-ish. How would you like to proceed?
Well, Matin's is at 2 a.m., so we probably want to be in and out before all the monks wake up to pray their nighttime prayers.
All right. Do you want to go in and get the monk we need, or since you would be, I believe, most adept at getting in and out quietly?
Why is that?
Azamites.
Oh, so we're naturally just skilled at subterfuge.
Well, you're typically known as the Assassin Clan, so...
I'm a scholar.
Oh, I know.
assassinate people with my pen. But I'm more than willing to crawl up through a window.
I forget, did we get a name for the monk?
You did not.
Okay.
Oh, so we don't even know who we're looking for?
Correct, but you know that they were supposed to meet this monk at night, so that probably helps narrow things down as to who's awake.
Yeah.
Were they supposed to meet tonight?
They were supposed to meet the previous night, but...
It's the dark medieval period, so anything could have held them up.
Yep.
So, option 1 is your old plan of knocking on the door. Option 2 is waiting around and seeing if anybody lights a candle or steps outside. Option 3 is going in there and playing it by ear.
So, I'm going to quietly knock on the door.
All right.
Like enough that someone on the other side, but I'm not trying to wake up the whole entire place.
Yeah.
Somebody who's already awake would hear it.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm trying to remember who is the, like, I don't have in the...
Andrusio?
Andrusio is the one who was hired the monk?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Alright.
The door opens and you are greeted by a bear of a man, broad-shouldered, nearly a tower. He is clearly reading from the Swoley Bible with a well-trimmed ebony beard and strong Tuscany features. Were you sent by Andrusio?
I was. There has been complications during the handoff. Has anything happened here?
No. Nothing here that I can think of. I just wanted to get a hold of it. An ancient piece of biblical lore. But I apologize. I'm Father Orsino.
I am Augustin.
Excuse me. It is a pleasure to meet you, Augustin. Will you come inside?
Yes, and these are my compatriots, and I'll wave in Ham and Yehuda.
Okay. You all see the candle flickering in his hands. You get that sense of unease. As he sees them, he holds the candle out. And as I said, you all feel that kind of unease given fire.
Yeah. But go in. Would you like to hand him the transcripts? Or the scripture?
Okay, then I will nod to you when you say that, and I will produce it and hand it to him. Beautifully bound. Wonderfully illuminated.
It looks so new.
The Hebrew is exceptional.
It seems to have weathered time exceptionally well.
We must give thanks to God, then. He bows his head, and all of you feel it. It radiates from him. The beast starts to recoil.
I'm on the Derech Chaim.
He has true faith.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Nice.
the beast recoils, but path of life, that is what I aspire.
Oh no,
Obviously, as
I
a
get it,
believer.
but true faith always affects vampires.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what faith. A devout Muslim, a devout Christian, a devout Hindu could have true faith, and if they have that, they can use that faith to harm a vampire.
Gotcha. Even a vampire that is
Yes.
on a road that... Okay.
Correct. So you just
Well-
feel that radiate from him for a moment. He goes, come in.
Well, go in.
And he begins to translate as he's going off, and you see him writing things down as he's reading out, and he goes, It's strange, there's gaps in it, though I don't see age marks. This is truly fascinating.
Father, if I may ask, who is this translation ultimately intended?
Well, that's the thing. There's a hooded person who was supposed to meet me tomorrow night. I had met her once before. The only reason I know she is a woman is because she spoke.
And she set up this meeting?
No. I believe she was sent by someone else.
And that is who
Where
you
do you know-
are handing this translation over to?
Yes.
Do you know where it was supposed to journey after it passed through Florence and Pistoia?
No, I didn't. My only concern was that I wanted to have the original for the church, to add to the library so that we can save this knowledge of God's graces.
Amen. Amen.
We may need to delay it being permanently stored in your library due to the complications in Florence.
What kind of complications?
The Guelph who was receiving the text is no longer with us among the land of the living.
And we must find who instigated this attack.
I see. Well, let's see. When I looked up from my, as he's writing down, draught of despair, the Archangel Gabriel, soft Gabriel, Lord of mercy, appeared to me. The Archangel Gabriel said unto me, Son of Adam, son of Eve, behold, the mercy of the Father is greater than you could ever know. For even now there is a path open, a road of mercy, and you shall call this road. It cuts off, but I believe I know what this road is.
What is this road?
What is it?
My dear boys, it's quite obvious. Grace.
You are correct.
Great.
That sounds very correct, Father.
The rest is quite interesting too. My energies first surged through me. I discovered I moved like lightning. These are all things that say through the Lord all things are possible.
So, what do you believe? This story is just an exaltation of the gifts of the Lord, or?
I believe this might be the tale of a lost prophet, possibly through Judges. There are many characters in Judges, and so the gifts of the Lord are far more literal during those times when the Lord needed to make his presence known, for the Lord had not given his grace yet through the Savior.
Yes, there was a man who killed 600 with an ox goad.
Ah, yes, Shamgard.
There was another who pulled the temple down around him.
Yes, exactly. I believe this is a lost story of one of those great heroes of Israel who was elevated by the Lord.
We thank you, Father, for giving us your time. We know this is no easy task to be able to perform. Would you like communication when we believe we can leave this here to be added to your store of knowledge?
Please. Oh, I would like that very much. Do you wish to speak with the woman who is coming tomorrow? I can try and delay her. She'll be here quite early. She'll be here about noon tomorrow. I know it's quite late, but you should be all up by noon, correct?
I am afraid we are very weary from our travels and quite exhausted.
I see.
If you can delay her until later that night.
Night, you say? If she leaves, though, the roads are quite dangerous at night. I wouldn't feel secure in delaying her to the point where if she felt compelled to leave still, that would lead to a loss of her safety.
Well, in that instance, you may meet with her and tell her that there were troubles and...
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do. But hopefully you'll be able to catch her before she leaves, or if she is comfortable staying here another night to speak with all of you, I will let you all know.
Do you know where she's coming from?
No, I don't know. She came from somewhere nearby, I believe, but beyond that I don't know.
Well, if she cannot remain, ask her where the text can be delivered.
I'll
should
do what
she
I
have
can.
returned.
I will do what I can.
Thank you.
Though, given that you refuse to reveal her face to me, I can only assume that she wishes to be anonymous.
Well, it's a common affliction in these days.
Unfortunately. But
God bless.
God bless you. But as he holds his cross, we will pray and we will make it through that. As he holds that, I do need a courage roll, difficulty 5, as the beast starts to shriek inside of you.
Courage? Okay.
Courage.
What's the difficulty?
5.
Okay.
You all contain the beast, cage it within your hearts as you feel it raging, but you sit through his prayers and you're able to hold yourselves. And he goes, I hope to see you all tomorrow night. I hope this translation is fascinating, though, and if any more information comes on any other pieces of this text, please be the first to ask me, for I wish to learn more of the Lord's creations and the Lord's works.
We will keep you
So
informed,
do
Father.
we all.
Anyway, the others are stirring soon, and I should not keep you.
Alright, we'll head out.
Good evening to you all.
Good evening.
As he closes the monastery door behind you.
Ugh. Baruch Hashem. Oh, God.
I don't know whether his faith is a good news or bad news.
Faith in somebody who volunteers to commit ritual suicide is never good news.
I'm less concerned with implications on a philosophical level, and more in...
It may protect him.
It may protect him and keep him useful to us, but it also means there's a chance it wasn't it wasn't just Kindred who were vying for this, and there may be actual mortal influences, which are easier to deal with.
As we saw, sometimes mortal influences are easier to deal with. Other times, they're vastly more difficult. Augustin's point is well taken.
Well, shall we retire for the night?
I would like to
All right.
hopefully wash the taste of those Catholic prayers out of my mouth.
You return to the manor. You were greeted by Leona as she goes, welcome back. Anything interesting?
Yes.
For now, it mostly seems... Well, it was an interesting visit, but it seems that he is a devout worshipper, and we have more information to try to pursue.
Oh, excellent. Well, if you're going tomorrow night, I will grant you the right to feed within my domain, as long as you stay away from any midwives. Those are mine to hunt.
Understood. Tell me, have you granted passage to any specifically female vampires within the past week?
No, I have not. Why?
Apparently there will be one arriving tomorrow.
Now
What
that
makes
is-
you
Wait.
think there's one arriving tomorrow?
Never mind. She'll be arriving tomorrow at noon, clearly not a vampire. Sometimes it takes words a little while to catch up with me. Forgive me.
You are forgiven. Well, now I am curious, and I do wish to send one of my own with you to just observe and to peruse with your coterie. I hope you don't mind.
As we meet out as we head out tomorrow night?
Yes. I would like to send a dear friend of mine, Amelia, with you. She's a Malkavian. She might give you insights.
Okay.
And we will find out what insights you get next time. This is a bit of a shorter episode, but thank you to everyone who listened. We will be off next week, but the week after that we will return, and hopefully Christine will be back to play Amelia during this section, while the others get to play ghouls when we find out what Isabella's been up to. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye.